Let's talk today about graphing inequalities. So the first thing I want to tell you or point out to you is that when we are graphing our inequalities on the coordinate plane, anytime we see a less than or greater than symbol in the inequality, we want to use a dotted line to draw our actual line. And we'll talk more about why that is during our next lesson for solving systems. But anytime you see less than or greater than, you want to use a plain dotted line. If you see less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, you want to use a solid line. And I know for some of you that's going to take getting used to drawing it with a dotted line. But anytime we just see a regular less than or greater than symbol, we want to make sure we use a dotted line. So the first thing we need to do for each one is actually plot the line. So we're going to think of it as y equals rather than an inequality at first. So it's in slope-intercept form. My intercept is -5. My slope is 3. So I can think 3 over 1 up 3 over 1. If you're having trouble graphing these, you can always type it into your Desmos to get the ordered pairs and then plot your points from there. So you can put y equals 3x minus 5 into your Desmos just to get your ordered pairs. Okay, so that's this first one. And I can use a solid line because it says less than or equal to. So I'm going to draw a solid line here. And now we need to shade in the region that is less than or equal to that. So less than is going to be my lower side underneath this line. So if you want to look at the y-axis, you want to see where the lower numbers are. So down here I see like -6, -7. So this side is going to be the one that's shaded in. Okay, so less than is going to be underneath your line. Now I'm going to graph the other line. Y is greater than or equal to -1/2 x plus 2. So I have a y-intercept of +2 and a slope of -1/2. So down 1 over 2, down 1 to the right 2, down 1 to the right 2, or you could go up and to the left. Okay, same thing. If you need to type this into Desmos, you can. Once again, we're using a solid line because it's greater than or equal to. So here's my line. This one says greater than. So I want to shade above the line. I want to shade where my greater y values are. So I'm going to get my highlighter. I'm going to shade in up here. Okay, so we see that one area on the graph where both colors exist right here. So this would be considered the solution to this inequality set. We'll talk more about solutions during your next class, like I said, but that's where our solution set lies for this system of inequalities. Okay, I'm going to do one more example with you. I'm going to do this bottom one down here, number 2. Okay, the first inequality is not in slope-intercept form. For this first inequality, I'm going to have to subtract the x over to get the y by itself. So this one, when we're graphing, we're going to think y is less than -x plus 3. Okay, notice it's just a regular less than symbol. There's no underline. That means that when I graph this, I need to remember to use a dotted line. So we have a y-intercept of 3 and a slope of -1. So I'm going to go down and to the right, 1 over 1, or up and to the left. Okay, and when I draw this line, I need to remember to use a dotted line. That's probably for most of you going to be your biggest mistake, is forgetting which type of line you need to use, or just using a solid line out of habit. Okay, so we want to shade in everything that is less than, or everything that is lower below this line. So this would be the solution set for the orange line. Next thing I want to graph is y is less than or equal to 2x plus 3. So I have a y-intercept of 3 and then a slope of 2x, so 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, or down 2 and to the left 1. Okay, here we can use a solid line because we have that equal symbol, less than or equal to. So here's my solid line. And once again, we want less than. So I want all values that are below this line. So all my negative y values down here are the lower values. Okay, so that's shaded in there. And then my last line is actually just going to be a horizontal line through y equals -3. And it's going to be solid because it's greater than or equal to. We've got that underlined. Okay, so there's y equals -3, and we want to shade above because it's greater than or equal to. So here, our solution set is only going to be this portion. Let me get a color I didn't use. It's only going to be this portion in here where all three colors overlapped, where all three of my highlighters overlapped. Okay, you can see over here on the left, I've got blue and yellow. Over here, I've got pink and blue, and down at the bottom, I've got pink and yellow. Those are not solution sets. Only that very, very center where all three colors overlap will we have ordered pairs that work for all three of those inequalities.